Les from Redhill, why is it all about United and how bad they and other teams have played? Palace are ripping teams apart for fun now. Not just Eze and Elise, but the whole team are playing for Ollie destroyed Liverpool, West Ham, Newcastle, and now United. And you're right, because you can go through them all. Anderson, Richards, Adam Wharton, Will Hughes, Mateta, as well as the two wide boys there as well. But you've got to understand, Palace guys, that when Manchester United lose 4-0 away from home, their 13th defeat of the season, that is the story, and that's why we're talking about them so much. Doesn't take anything away from your achievement, though. Now, we've been asking for your calls this morning, 03717223344, about Manchester United and Eric Ten Hag, whether he should be parting company with them now. Well, we haven't got a United fan. Instead, we have John, who's a Manchester City fan. I suspect he wants to rub salt into the wounds. Morning, John.
Good morning, John.
Good morning, gentlemen. They were lucky to escape with 0 last night. And please let Eric Ten Hag complete the process. It's hilarious. They used to call us the comedy club. I don't think the undergarments are going to dry for quite some time after watching that last night. And they were absolutely battered all over the park. I remember Mr. Goldstein saying when Casemiro was signed for £70 million, yeah, I'll repeat that, £70 million from Real Madrid. He was the signing of the transfer window. But that same transfer window, Manchester City signed one Julian Alvarez for 14 million quid. I'll let you figure that one out.
Yeah, John, how much did you pay for Calvin Phillips as well then?
Yeah, well, Calvin Phillips.
Well, you shouldn't gloat about Casemiro then, should you? You know, everybody makes mistakes.
Of course. All right then. For every Anthony, you get one Cyborg, you get one Julian Alvarez, and you get one Manuel Akanji and pocket change. So let me just say that the recruitment at the Manchester's one and only club has been absolutely brilliant. I have spoken to Ally. You remember I said Calvin Phillips bang average, and I want him to be that player. So Calvin Phillips, yes, it's been a mistake, but how many mistakes have they made? Let's have it right. And the leader I won't want to go in the trenches with is that Bruno Fernandes. He looks like air traffic control when he's on the pitch. And it's
John,
not
deep down, isn't there a tiny bit of you that wants Manchester United right up there contending with you like an Arsenal or a Liverpool? Just a tiny bit of you.
Not even one modicum of me. Not even the slightest bit of it. I hate them with a passion. And if United were playing the Martians for the saving the world, I'd be in the away end with a green scarf on. I can't stand them.
There'd be no atmosphere though, would there, John? Look, John, thanks for your call, mate.
Oh, John, did John just say if United were playing the Martians?
The Martians, yeah. Brilliant.
Oh, John, man, brilliant.
Anyway.
Dear me.
As you well know, Ali, there is a huge Champions League semi-final live on talkSPORT tonight. PSG going in 1-0 down after that defeat in Dortmund last week. Their record in the last 11 years in the Champions League is 4 quarter-finals, 1 semi-final, lost in the final to Bayern Munich in 2020. And most people, I think, will expect them to turn things around tonight, Ali. But their form at home this season has not been immaculate. They have slipped up on more than one occasion. Yeah,
but do you know something? They've in their own kind of environment, they've come a little bit a victim of their own success in the terms that, was it Lille won it one year, but you just expect them to totally dominate in a kind of way that you'd expect Bayern Munich to dominate in Germany. This is the real test for PSG. This is where they want to be, and this is the one they want to win. I mean, the Dortmund story itself, Jeff. I mean, I was over in Dortmund, as you know, for the first leg of the semi-final. It was fantastic. Their coach even is a brilliant story, lad, Edin Terzic. He's born in Yugoslavian parents, and I don't think he played the game to any great level. I don't think he'd mind me saying that. I think he played amateur. He was a forward back in the day, but he started off at Dortmund as a scout, then got a job as a coach, and then I think he passed his pro licence in England, and he's just kept stepping forward and moving forward in the right direction. And he did something in the first leg which I thought was brilliant, we mentioned Sancho on one side, the lad Adeyemi on the other side, who incidentally might be the quickest player I've ever seen in my life, and I include Kyle Walker and Mbappe in that. This lad was lightning, and he was brilliant. He was brilliant for, I think it was the best part of 60, 70 minutes, and then he just switched off defensively for a split second, and he allowed Hakimi to get in behind him, and PSG should have scored, and Edin Terzic substituted him immediately, and I thought it was brilliant, because he was having a terrific game, but he could see he was mentally tired, and he was probably in that split second maybe going to cost his team the victory. And as good a game as he had, he made the switch, and I can't remember I think he brought in Marco Reus.
Yeah, he did.
In place of him, so he brought in Marco Reus, and I thought, brilliant. He's not prepared to take the chance. I mean, he's been brilliant all day, but you can see a mental tiredness more than a physical tiredness, and he made the switch. And I look at Dortmund, and they've got, listen, they don't have the stars that PSG side have. Of course they don't, but they've got a real team. They've got a real team and a working ethic that it wouldn't be the biggest surprise, Jeff, if they managed to get a result today. I genuinely think, I know we heard one of the boys saying there they can keep a clean sheet. I think they'll have to score, Dortmund. I can't see them keeping a clean sheet. I mean, the chances that PSG had, as I mentioned earlier, Mbappe should have scored, Dembele should certainly have scored, Fabian Ruiz should have scored. I mean, but at the same time, Dortmund had more chances to add to the lead. So I think it's beautifully poised.
It is, and I wonder whether one of the keys might be whether Dortmund can get the service up to full Krug, because he's a proper old-fashioned centre forward, isn't he? And he caused them a lot of problems in Germany.
By the way, Jeff, I'm going to tell you something. His finish was superb.
Oh,
absolutely superb. It was a brilliant ball from Schlotterbeck, who incidentally, and by the way, Max Hummels, the two of them were different class last week, but they'll get tested tonight, don't worry about that. But the ball from Schlotterbeck up to the big fella up front, Füllkrug, he takes a brilliant touch, and he just has a wee look to see where the defender is. I think it was Marquinhos couldn't get across. Marquinhos could not get across to close him down, and they strike with the left foot. The goal was brilliant, but you're right, mate. I loved the game. What I loved as much about the game was the two absolutely contrasting centre forwards styles of play. You had somebody like Nicholas Füllkrug up front, as you say, old-fashioned centre forward, took it in, aggressive, with attack at the back post, a lovely touch about him, he brought people in, and then you'd obviously Kylian Mbappe playing through the middle, and the contrast in styles was brilliant. But Füllkrug, I thought he had an excellent game. I really thought he had an excellent game. I also thought, like we mentioned earlier, Jeff, I think he should have had a penalty, and it was just his general play. He had a lovely feel and a lovely touch, and he'll be really important for them tonight.
Yeah. Promised to be a fantastic game. John, the Man City fan we just heard from, he's got his own fan club now. John, the Man City fan, is brilliant. It should get a permanent spot on the breakfast show. Comes from Mike. Please clip that up and get it on Instagram. One of the funniest phone callers ever, says another caller. So John, big fan club already developing there.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.